Hello, hello, hello. I have some big breaking stories coming out of Washington, D.C., and also out of Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be going through some new information about the Trump assassination. We're going to watch a viral video of Senator Ted Cruz where he absolutely points out a major hole in the Secret Service story about the Trump assassination and much more. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Vice President Kamala Harris just wrapped up her first presidential campaign rally in Atlanta, Georgia. She tried to sell the idea that if elected, she will fix inflation. Like, seriously, Kamala? You're in office right now. Why haven't you and Joe been doing it? How come you are waiting? We're all dying with the price of everything being expensive. So she blames Trump for telling lawmakers not to pass a flimsy border bill, even though Biden also could have done an executive order all this time. The only executive orders he did for the first 3.5 years was undo all of the successful Trump laws. On top of that, she lied about Donald Trump wanting to take away Social Security and Medicare. This is absolute lies that this person is telling. Kamala Harris, she's lying, right? Not only has Trump committed on multiple occasions to not touch Social Security or Medicare, but his 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is the only thing saving the middle class from a huge tax hike as we speak. But in reality, both Biden and Harris have vocally supported on multiple occasions allowing the Trump 2017 tax decreases to expire, which would make taxes go up for just about everyone, including the middle class. Now, as of now, American business owners making less than $182,000 don't have to pay taxes on 20% of their income, thanks to Trump, but they'll never admit that he did this. The average family saved around $5,000 a year in taxes, but they'll never admit that, which is why I have to come on here late at night and point this stuff out. But just today, Donald Trump floated the idea that maybe it's time to get rid of taxing Social Security altogether. Why should seniors be forced to pay taxes on the money the government forced them to take out of their check as a tax? So it's forced out of your check during your working years as a tax. Then they give it back to you and they can tax it again. This would be a massive achievement if Trump was able to get this done. And Trump is looking to do this. But is he looking to end Social Security? Absolutely not. That is just such a blatant lie. All right, now let me know over in the comments. Do you think that we should be paying taxes on Social Security money? I've always thought this is really stupid. Like, ever since my parents retired and started taking Social Security, I remember thinking, why are you guys having to pay tax on a tax that was forced out of you? I mean, think how many seniors are unfortunately living paycheck to paycheck. And part of that is that they get taxed. So Trump is saying, maybe we go ahead and get rid of that. Let China pay for that tax money in the form of, leveraging the money coming in from China. So that was an idea that he put out there just today. Now, aside from the actual policies discussed during Kamala Harris's rally, Harris also got flack for having popular hip hop artist Megan Thee Stallion perform inappropriately to open her act. Lewd comments, sexual references, swear words. Right-leaning hip-hop artist Lil Pump responded to the situation by stating, Harris needs Megan Thee Stallion shaking her butt in order for people to show up. Donald Trump needs himself to have people show up to the rally. One person is empowered by the people, and the other is powered by the establishment. Wow. Great observation, Lil Pump. I guess go ahead and shake that thing, right? All right, now Trump himself has also sparked controversy today by commenting on how Harris has been portraying herself. During an interview with the National Associate of Black Journalists, Trump spoke of Harris, stating, "I don't know, is she Indian or is she black? But you know what? I respect either one. But she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person." Now, just to clarify, Harris is both Indian and of Jamaican descent, which is why the confusion regarding her statements may exist. Now, the mainstream media is trying to portray Donald Trump as a huge racist for pointing this out. But you can easily do a quick Google search, and you will see up until she ran for president, she always portrayed herself as being from Indian descent, having an Indian mother that she loved, that raised her, that taught her the culture of India. And then all of a sudden, she runs for president and identifies as black. Now, in response to this, Democrat Senator Raphael Warnock jumped at the opportunity to tie the mistake to Trump's character. Warnock stated, "I'll tell you what is not. It's not surprising. This is who Donald Trump is. This is the political insult, revenge, resentment, and retribution." Now, remember, it's Democrats that are obsessed with race and sexual identity. So I'm not surprised that they are now trying to paint Donald Trump as a racist, but he just simply isn't. There's zero evidence for it. And asking, is somebody Indian or are they black? What are they? Like, that is not racist. That is called a clarifying question. Now, President Joe Biden has just directed federal agencies to step it up, to block fentanyl from crossing the border and killing American citizens. This new effort will reportedly bring the government and private companies together to increase intelligence and decrease the flow of fentanyl. While the exact details are still unknown, it's clear to me that Biden made this decision to pad criticism against Kamala Harris, but they're not going to do anything. And none of this new law is going to fix the border or the amount of fentanyl coming across. Now, did you know that 350,000 Americans have died of fentanyl since Joe Biden took office? So if he really cared, he would have stopped this a long time ago. 350,000, like that's approaching how many people we lost in World War II. That's how many people have died from that China drug. All right, now I have some big stories, including some reactions that you're going to want to see. But first, let me tell you about today's amazing sponsor. Colonial Metals Group helped me with my goal of protecting my financial future. Being at the whim of the stock market or the current administration does not make me feel safe or secure. But having a self-directed IRA where I can safely store gold and silver, assets that have stood the test of time, no matter what the economy or government policies, that makes me feel safe and secure. Colonial Metals Group has helped me create a self-directed IRA where I can have direct access to my assets. Let the team of experts at CMG help you protect your family's future. Their level of professionalism and ability to listen makes it easy to learn everything you need to know about preserving your wealth. Maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you already have a 401k or an IRA, or maybe you've been put in charge of making sure that mom and dad's money is protected. Either way, you should definitely check them out. We've put together a special offer just for my audience. Click on the link down below or call the 1-800 number on the screen, and you can receive a safe and up to $7,500 in free silver. Check out colonialmetalsgroup.com/Gardner or the 800 number on your screen. With the election just a few months away, the Federal Reserve has yet to deliver a rate drop for Joe Biden. Earlier today, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell announced that they would not lower interest rates just yet. Inflation remains sticky under Joe Biden. However, Powell did offer some hope to Democrats right before the election, stating that a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table as soon as September. let's get just a little bit closer to the election before we make that change. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just the math. Or maybe they're setting things up right before people go to the ballot box. I'll let you decide what you think is actually happening. All right, now, new video footage just moments before the Trump assassination attempt have been obtained by Fox News from James Copenhaver, the same man who was shot twice during the Trump assassination attempt. In the video, a man who appears to be the shooter can be seen moving on the roof behind Trump, which was particularly eerie because the two were seen in the same frame. Unlike what many have claimed, the man was not hard to see from almost all directions, which is probably why the Secret Service was able to take him out within 15 seconds. This once again begs the question, why didn't they act faster? They knew for 20 minutes that this guy was trying to get on the roof, and 2 full minutes of people yelling, "Someone on the roof with a gun." But either way, let me show that to you guys. Look at that. You can see him right there running across the top. You can see him moving. I wish I had this in slow motion. But there he was. He was up on that roof, and he was easily seen. And they knew that he was trying to get up there. So it really does beg the question, why didn't they do more? You could easily see the guy. Now, how about this? Let me know in the comments what you think. Isn't it kind of interesting that the same guy who got shot twice at the Trump rally is the same guy that got the assassin on camera? I just think, man, like what are the odds of that? Pretty crazy that it came from his phone. And once that video was known, instead of sending it to the FBI, Fox News was able to get a hold of that so that you and I could see it. Because right now, what I'm reading is a lot of people are sending their videos to the FBI, which means that we likely will never see those videos come to the light of day. Pretty sad. All right, now I want to show you a super viral confrontation between Senator Ted Cruz and the new acting head of Secret Service. He points out some serious holes in the story, as well as calls for accountability. It's a little bit of a long video, but it's really interesting, and you're going to learn some new things that even I didn't know after studying this for a long time. So let me show that to you right now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rowe, thank you for being here. I agree with what you said at the outset, that the individual Secret Service agents demonstrated remarkable personal courage, putting their bodies in between the line of sight of the shooter and the president. That being said, the bravery of the line agents is quite different from the decisions of Secret Service leadership. Secret Service leadership committed catastrophic security failures, indeed the worst security failures for the Secret Service since 1981, since the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan. It is incumbent upon this committee to determine why those security failures happened. Just after the shooting, Secret Service put out an official statement from your spokesperson that says there's an untrue assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources and that those were rebuffed. This is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capabilities as part of the increased campaign travel tempo. Was this tweet accurate?
With respect to Butler, Pennsylvania, it is accurate, sir.
It is accurate that the Trump team had not asked for additional security and had not been rebuffed.
If you're talking about Butler, Pennsylvania, all assets requested were approved. If you're talking about the media reporting of assets requested, there were times when assets were unavailable and not able to be filled, and those gaps were staffed with state and local law enforcement tactical assets.
So I'm reading from the Washington Post, July 20th, 2024. Secret Service said to have denied requests for more security at Trump events. The opening paragraph, top officials of the U.S. Secret Service repeatedly denied requests for additional resources and personnel sought by Donald Trump's security detail in the 2 years leading up to his attempted assassination, according to 4 people familiar with the requests. Is that right, that repeatedly the Trump detail asked for more resources and repeatedly Secret Service leadership turned that down?
That is not accurate, Senator. Assets are requested. There's a process that is made. And
how many requests did the Trump team or the Trump detail ask for?
I can get you that number in a queue.
You don't know now.
So I can speak to the ones that were reported in the Washington Post, and we can go through them if you like.
But you don't know how many requests there were.
In general, how many requests since 2021 that the former Trump detail has made a request for assets?
You've had 2 weeks. You had a spokesperson put something out that is false on its face. By the way, did you approve this statement when it went out?
I don't know if I did or didn't, Senator.
Has this spokesperson, is he still employed? Does he still have a job?
He is still employed, Senator.
So he lied on behalf of the Secret Service. He still has a job. Did your predecessor, the former director, did she approve this statement?
Senator, our comms team, they send out statements. They do deconflict them and they put them out.
Did she approve this statement?
I don't know if she did or did not, Senator.
And you don't know if you did either?
I don't recall approving it, Senator.
Will you commit to provide this committee in writing every written request for additional resources from the Trump campaign or the Trump detail and every response from Secret Service?
Senator, I will commit to providing responses and getting you the information that you are seeking.
May I ask you something? And who makes the decision to deny those requests? Did you make that decision?
Which requests? Are you talking about the ones that were in the Washington Post?
Yes.
So the process, sir, is that a detail will make a request for either staffing, technical assets, that is handled between the field office and the detail. It goes up to a logistics office between our
Okay, so there's a bureaucracy.
So the fighting is about to begin because this gentleman refuses to answer questions. They've had weeks now to prepare for these hearings, and it's as if they know nothing. Absolutely nothing. So let me keep going here.
Is there a decision maker?
It's not a bureaucracy, Senator.
Give me the
it's a
person
process.
that's a decision maker. Is there one?
Senator, it's a conversation. It's not just an absolute yay or nay.
So let me tell you what I believe. I believe that the Secret Service leadership made a political decision to deny these requests. And I think the Biden administration has been suffused with partisan politics. Did the same person who denied the request for additional security to President Trump also repeatedly deny the request for security to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose father was murdered by an assassin and whose uncle was murdered by an assassin? Did the same person make that decision?
Senator, what I will tell you is that Secret Service agents are not political.
Okay, you're not answering my question. But you know what? Leadership appointed by the president, leadership appointed by the president is political. I have a simple question, yes or no. Did the same person deny the Trump request that also denied the RFK request? That's a yes or no question.
Senator, that is not a yes or no question. One,
how come they don't want to say a name? And if they're trying to make sure that that person is kept safe, at least why haven't they fired them? It makes no sense that nobody is being held accountable.
there is a process for a candidate nominee to receive protection.
Does the buck stop anywhere? Does the buck stop anywhere?
Bipartisan process that the Hill
participates. It's a bicameral, bipartisan process. What cameral?
For a candidate,
you are not a Congress. You don't have a cameral.
Mr. Kennedy submitted a request that was referred over to the CPAC.
Okay, you're refusing to answer the question. Let me ask, because
many of you probably know, but RFK Jr., the third person running for president, has been denied Secret Service for over 6 months from Joe Biden. Joe Biden alone has the authority to sign off on that. And because Joe Biden wanted to win, he was trying to financially drain RFK Jr. of all of his money, which he has. They're now $3 million in debt, I read. And he still needs protection. I mean, for heaven's sakes, his uncle was shot and his father was shot, and they're refusing. I think they were doing the same thing to Trump, leaving him wide open for something like this to happen.
Because the failures on that day were catastrophic. By the way, Is it true that on the day of the Butler event that Secret Service transferred agent from President Trump to the First Lady?
No, sir, that's not true.
That's been widely reported.
It's not true. There was one airport agent that actually went on the manpower request for the Trump detail. They handled the arrival at the airport.
What
was
the relative size of the Trump detail compared to the detail that is assigned to the President or the First Lady?
Senator, the former president travels with a full shift, just like the president.
What's so the exact same size? Is that your testimony that President Trump had the same size detail that President Biden has?
On the day of in Butler, the agents surrounding him, it is the same number of agents surrounding the president today.
You see what he's trying to do there? Ted Cruz is saying, how many Secret Service are normally there? How many were that day? How many does Jill Biden get? How many does the sitting president get? And all this guy will say is, oh, well, the group that jumped on Donald Trump, that's the same size. And this is really starting to infuriate Ted Cruz.
There is a difference between a sitting president who also not only...
Hold on, you're using president in a way that is not clear. Is it your testimony that in Butler, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump had the same number of agents protecting him that Joe Biden has at a comparable event?
I'm telling you the shift, the close protection shift surrounding. That's
yes
what you
or no?
asked me, Senator, and I'm trying to answer it.
You are not answering it. Is it the same number of agents or not?
Senator, there is a difference between the sitting president of the United States.
Then what's the difference?
The difference?
2x, 3x, 5x,
National
10x?
Command Authority to launch a nuclear strike. Sir,
I'm not
other assets
how many more
travel
agents?
with the president that the former president will not get.
You are refusing to
but
answer
the number of Secret Service agents protecting him.
Stop interrupting me.
Go ahead,
You
Senator.
are refusing to answer clear and direct questions. I am asking the relative difference in the number of agents between those assigned to Donald Trump and those assigned to Joe Biden. I'm not asking why you assign more to Joe Biden. I'm asking, is the difference, is it 2x? Is it 3x? Is it 5x? Is it 10x?
Senator, I will get you that number so you can see it with your own eyes.
Wow. Wow. Heated. Absolutely heated. Why is it that these guys know nothing? And did you see that? Ted Cruz is like, okay, just tell me, Donald Trump had 6, Joe Biden had 10. Like, just, it's so easy. Like, here's a number. And then the guy makes it about, well, Joe Biden is a sitting president and he has access to nuclear codes. But Donald Trump, he's a former president. He doesn't have that. Like, we understand all of that. Just tell us the number. The reason they don't want to tell you the number is they don't want to say it out loud. That is the part that they don't want you to know. And so this is a huge, huge failure on the part of the Secret Service. And more is going to come out. But that video went viral, millions and millions of views, arguing back and forth. And it was like blowing my mind. I was like, why can this guy not just answer? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys think the Secret Service is purposely evading questions so that they don't look as bad? But then by doing that, it makes them look super guilty. Like, type Y if you agree, right? And if you don't agree, you can type an N. But to me, it just seems like, why wouldn't you come in with really simple answers? Oh, on that day, we had 20. He normally has 30. On that day, Joe Biden had 50. He has more because he's the president. And then refusing to say whether people were moved over to Jill Biden. People have come forward from the Secret Service and already confirmed that. And now this acting head is saying, no, that's not true. That's not true. It's just they're purposely trying to evade in order to not look guilty. But the truth is, I think they look super guilty. All right, now Biden, just a week ago, claimed he is the only U.S. president that didn't see America get in a war. However, the U.S. has retaliated against Iran in Iraq by launching an airstrike. This is launching war, right? This attack was said to be in response to Iran attacking a U.S. base with rockets last week. something that wasn't really talked about in the media. Now, despite being involved in this attack, the U.S. has denied involvement in Israel's killing of a top Hamas leader after Hezbollah bombed a soccer field in Israel, which resulted in the death of 12 children. After the attack, Secretary of State Antony Blinken argued that it may impact the current ceasefire deal being discussed. Yeah, it's going to impact a lot of stuff, right? Like Israel has been clear that they were going to use Mossad, which is the CIA of Israel, to hunt down and unalive leaders of Hamas. That's exactly what they did. And they probably wouldn't have done it if they hadn't attacked and blown up a soccer field. Anyway, I know that this whole war is just awful. And I wish that it would end. And I wish that it would end quickly. All right, let me tell you about a few other big stories. David Marcus, former president of PayPal, head of Facebook Messenger, has publicly come out and said, I know I'm going to lose friendship, family, and business opportunities, but I can no longer stay quiet. I am voting for Donald Trump, and I urge everyone for the safety of America and the world to do the same. These are big names putting their reputation on the line. South Carolina's Supreme Court has ruled that the death penalty against certain crimes is absolutely legal. The White House says patience is running out for Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro to release proof that he actually won the Venezuela election. Now, isn't that just absolutely interesting? The Biden administration is saying, we demand that you prove you won the election. But when the American election is questioned, Joe Biden says, we don't need to prove anything. This was the freest and most fair election in American history. But now they're telling Venezuela, show us proof or else the U.S. military is going to have you removed. Now, I am reading that the CIA may actually have been involved in setting President Maduro up. So I'm going to continue to look into that. But I would not put it past the United States and the Biden administration to try to meddle in Venezuela elections. Now, I think Maduro should go. I have friends from Venezuela. They say he's awful. The people have become poorer under his leadership. They used to be the fourth richest nation in the American continent, and now they're a third world nation struggling to get by. All right, now I'm just trying to see if there's any big stories right now. Oh, this is a big one. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to tell you guys this story. So Elon Musk of Twitter and Tesla, he is saying that there is evidence and online, basically an online paper trail that Maduro rigged the election so that he could win and remain in power. And now the president of Venezuela is saying, I'm going to come after you, Elon Musk. You're in big trouble. Don't you ever talk about that. Don't you ever bring that up. And he's saying, I'm going to fight you and I'm going to hurt you. And so now Elon Musk has challenged him to a cage match. He's calling for the president of Venezuela to fight him in a ring. And if he loses, that he will step down because everybody already knows that he lost. So, oh my gosh, Elon Musk just cracks me up. He is always willing to fight for the truth. Oh, so crazy. Well, lots of big stories today, right? New information about the Trump assassination attempt. Trump saying it's time to remove taxes from Social Security. Not eliminate Social Security, as Kamala Harris claimed, but to eliminate taxes on Social Security so that our senior citizens have more money during these high inflation times. Absolutely, absolutely crazy. All right, well, that is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more with you. Before I go, let me know, are you just getting ready to head to bed? I know I am. It's been a long, long day, but it's been a great day. I hope you're having a good summer, even though I know we are living in difficult times. If you could, please give this video a like, share it with family and friends, hit that like button because it helps me, because then YouTube decides to share it with more people. Hey, I love you guys so much. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video.